Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mihir Shah once again with another video. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve sum based on theory of games under the subject operation research. We'll be taking up around 6 sums to understand how you need to solve problem sum when theory of games or game theory problem sums are given in the paper. Again, a very important, a very simple topic for all the TYBMS SEM 6 students. See that you all go through the video very carefully, and once you all will go through the entire video, you all will be able to solve each and every sum based on this particular chapter. So first we will be taking up some rules, some terminologies which we need to learn while solving the sum based on game theory, and thereafter we'll be taking up 6 problem sums to understand the concept. Okay, now before starting with the actual problem sum based on theory of games, okay, or game theory, let us first go through some basic terminologies in this particular topic. First, with the introduction, game theory deals with business situation or problems where multiple parties are involved in conflict through interaction of their alternatives or decision. That's the basic meaning of game theory. Now, what are the various terminologies of game theory? Now, if you look down, there's an example. We have player X, player Y. We have some alternative decisions given here with in the form of numericals. Something row minima, column minima, maximum, minimax, and saddle point. This is actually the output of your game. Okay, whenever whenever we're going to solve a sum, this will be the basic output. Now, what is all these names? Okay, let us try to learn the terminologies for each and every itineraries which are given here. Number one, players. Now, since we have player X and Y, the various participants or decision makers in the game are called players. Each player has a finite number of course of action called strategies. So these are basically our strategies. A play occurs when each player select one of his strategy. Whenever the player will select any one of these, that will be called as a play. A payoff, it is the outcome of the interaction of strategies of opportunities in games. So this is nothing, this whole thing becomes like a payoff. When you have a payoff shown in the table form, like this is like a tabular form, it will be known as payoff matrix. Row minima, from each row, okay, we'll have to select the minimum payoff, and from each column we'll have to select the maximum payoff or maximum value. Okay, so when we get the question, the very first step that we'll have to do is we'll have to find the row minima, that is the lowest value from each row, and column maxima, that is each value, the maximum value from each column. Once we get that, we have to next find maximum, that is from each of the minimum values of a row, select the most or the maximum value, and from the maximum values of column we'll have to select the minimum value. Okay, and the interactions of those 2 points is nothing but a saddle point, or it is also known as the value of game. Okay, so point where maximum of row equals minimax of column, okay, that point is known as saddle point. So basically the sum gets over in like 4 to 5 steps only. A very simple sum but very important from the exam point of view. So now let us see one by one how to solve them. We are going to take up 5 to 6 different variations of sum which will cover up the entire topic. Okay, so let us see one by one how to solve those sums. Okay, now if you look carefully, there are 2 sums on this particular sheet. So first we are going to solve the very first sum. It is given that you are given the payoff player A, player B. Player B have 4 alternatives, player A has also 4 alternatives, and all the payoffs are given to us. Find the maximum and minimax strategy, and what is the value of game. Okay, whenever such kind of question is given in our solution, you need to make the similar table, or okay, you can make the similar table, the one which I have shown here. So we'll have to write player A, player B, all the alternatives of B, all the alternatives of A, and all the values which have been given from the question. Okay, that's the first step. Now, in order to start the sum, the very first thing what you need to do is, on the right side we'll have to write row minima. Okay, row minima means the lowest value from each row should be noted down. So from row 1, that is called as A1, the minimum value is negative 12. From row 2, the minimum value is 0. From row 3, it is negative 8. From row 4, it is negative 9. Okay, the very first step is get the row minima. Next, column maxima. From each column, we'll have to select the maximum value. So from B1, the maximum value is 13. From B2, the maximum value is 14. From B3, it is 0, and from B4, it is 5. Okay, next step, since it's a minima, we need to find maximin. Maximin means from your row minima, the maximum value. Which is the maximum value? Minus 12, 0, negative 8, negative 9. The highest value is 0. Okay, so I'll have to show that this is the maximum value. From column point of view, since it was maxima, we need to find minimax. That's from the maximum find the minimum value. So from 13, 14, 0 and find the minimum value is 0. Okay, so first we did row minima, then we did column maxima, then we found the maximin, and then we found the minimax. Now whatever values you have found, now you have to look at this carefully. We found 0 and 0. This has to always be equal. Okay, the maximin and minimax has to be equal. The point where both of them are equal is known as my saddle point. Okay, that will be called as a saddle point. So but after getting this, we have to conclude number 1, the optimum solution. Okay, now we have to directly write with the final answer with the optimum solution or optimum strategy. Okay, the optimum strategy or solution for A is, now for A, which one was selected? The one which maximum, whatever gets selected, that is the strategy, that is A2. And the payoff you have to write, you have to look at the row minima column. The one which got selected, okay, the value which got selected, that will be considered. Okay, once you all get the the optimum strategy, we got selected in this A2. Afterwards, remember the one value whichever gets selected now, that will be considered as 1, and all other values from row minima will become 0, because those are the strategies that are not to be taken. So in our case, just understand this. The first value wasn't to be considered, so it will be considered 0. Second was considered, so 1. Third and fourth are again not considered, so 0, 0. So this is the strategy 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay. Same way, we'll have to find the optimal strategy. So solution or strategy, any word you can use there. It will be better if you use the word strategy. For B will be, now in B, okay, the third value was selected, so it is called as B3. And the strategy will be, first one was not selected, second is not selected, the third one is selected. So 0, 0, 1, and last is also not selected, so it will be 0, 0, 1, 0. And optimum strategy for A was 0, 1, 0, 0. Third, the saddle point okay, the saddle point is equal to 0, therefore value of the game is equal to 0. That's my final answer. Okay, again a very simple sum, you just have to go through 3 to 4 steps. Okay, chalo, now similarly let us start with the next sum. You are given the payoff. Again we have player A, player B, and various strategies are given. Find the maximin and minimax strategy and what will be the value of game. Step number 1, we need to first find row minima. In the first row, the lowest value is 200. In the second row, the lowest value is negative 100. In third, the lowest value is negative 20. In fourth, the lowest value is 50. The next step, column maxima. First value, the highest value is, in first column, the highest value is 500. In the next, it is 400. Third में it is 200 and fourth में it is 240. Row minima, column maxima. Next, we need to find maximum. From row minima, the highest value is 200. So I've noted down this as 200. From column maxima, on that line we'll have to find the minimax. From the maximum, the minimum value is 200. Okay, so this 200 and this 200, they both match. This is nothing but our saddle point. Once I get that, number one, the optimum strategy for player A was the first one, and the strategy will be, the first one is selected, so 1 0 0 0. Similarly, for optimum strategy for B was, it was, the third one was selected, so third is selected, so it will be 0 0 1 0. Third, the saddle point was 200, therefore value of game equals to 200. Okay, again, very simple. You just have to follow those basic steps, and with that you will be able to solve the sum. So these are the first two sums. There are a couple of more sums that we are going to cover up. So I hope everyone have understood the first and the second sum. We will be jumping on to the next couple of sums, sum number 3 and sum number 4. Okay, question number 3. Find the optimal strategies of X and Y in the following game. Find the value of the game. Now we have given player X and player Y, and we have to follow the same steps. Okay, the first thing, row minima. From the first row, the lowest value is 40, and in the second, the lowest value is negative 70. Once I get that, next is column maxima. In the first, the maximum value is 100. In the second, it is 80. Third, it is 40. Next, we need to find the maximum. From the minimum, the maximum value was 40. From maximum, we'll have to find the minimax. The minimum value from the maximum is also 40. Both the values match. This is nothing but our saddle point. Number 1, optimum strategy of X. X ka the first value was selected, and only there were 2 games, so it will be 1, 0. The optimum strategy of Y, the third one was selected, so it will be 0, 0, 1. Okay, and the third, the saddle point was 40, therefore the value of game is equal to 40. The sum doesn't take any hardcore thinking. It's a very simple sum. You just have to follow those basic rules. Chalo. Similarly, we'll solve the fourth sum. Find the optimal strategies for A and B in the following game, and also find the value of game. Okay, so we have firm A and firm B. Step number 1, row minima. Step number 2 will be column maxima. Okay, in row minima, in the very first row, the minimum value is 150. In the second, minus 50. In the third, 100. column maxima mein the first value mein the maximum value is 220, in the second it is 150, and in third it is 170. Next we need to find maximin and minimax. So maximum value is 150, here the minimum value is also 150. Okay, the interaction of both is nothing but a saddle point. Number 1, the optimum strategy of firm A was the very first one, so it will be 1, 0, 0. For the second, the optimum strategy of B was the second one, so it will be 0, 1, 0. And third, the value of game, or that is the saddle point. So saddle point is 150, therefore the value of game is also equals to 150. Okay, I hope everyone have understood this. This was question number 3 and 4. Now to just cover up the entire topic, we are going to take up last 2 sums, okay, again in the same order to solve. Okay, so let us see the last 2 sums of this particular topic. Okay, question number 5 and 6. Find the optimal strategies for player P and Q and also find the value of game. So again we will start first row minima, second will be column maxima, then we will find maximin, and here we will find mini max. Chalo. From the first row the minimum value is 100, second में -50, third में -10. Column wise the highest is 200, 100 and 120. From the minimum the maximum is 100, from the maximum the minimum is 100. Okay, so we have found our saddle point. Once we find that, we just have to note down number 1, the optimum strategy of P was the very first one, so 1, 0, 0. The optimum strategy of player Q was the second one, so it will be 0, 1, 0. And third, the saddle point is equal to 100, therefore the value of game is also equals to 100. Okay, same rule, nothing, whatever sums comes under this particular topic, this is how you all have to solve. Last one, find the optimal strategies of X and Y. We will write first the row minima, the column maxima, we have maximin, and here we will be having minimax. From the very first row the minimum value is 100, in the second also it is 100, from third this is -80. In column the maximum is 100, 120 is the highest, and 200. Now the maximum, if you look carefully, there are 2 maximums and both are 100. From maximum the minimum is 100. So now we have, in maximum we have 2. Okay, so now this both will become our saddle point. Now see how you have to write this. This is very important. The saddle point, number 1, the optimum strategy for X was, now there are 2, he can go with 1. If he go with the first option, his itinerary or his breakup will be 1, 0, 0. Or he can even go with the second strategy where his outcome will be 0, 1, 0. That is how you just have to frame it. Second is normal. The optimum strategy of Y Okay, the first one is selected here itself, so it will be 1 comma 0 comma 0. And thirdly, we can just directly write the saddle point is 100, so value of game is equal to 100. Okay, so with this we were able to complete 6 different variations, or 6 sums of game theory along with that introductory part. I hope everyone have understood this entire topic. Okay, see that you all go through the sum, revise it, solve it, and then you all can try solving any other sum from any other textbook. You all will be able to solve it. Again, a very important topic from the exam point of view. Chalo, with that we will be ending this video here. Thank you.